Hello, and welcome to the ATEX video on importing IIF files into QuickBooks Online with our IIF importer for QuickBooks Online. It is assumed that you've seen our previous video on how to install our product and how to authorize it. If you recall, from our website or from an email we might have sent you, that there will be a link to a README file. This README file has a simple install process, and then after it's installed and you start the program, you will be asked to authorize it. First, you connect to the QuickBooks button, and then you will get various screens from Intuit QuickBooks on authorizing the program, but you have to be using the admin user to do so. Before we go into our program, let me just tell you that we do have QuickBooks Online open. It's not necessary, but it helps in the demo. We do have a test customer that we're going to use, and you can see here that there are no transactions for it. But before we can continue, let's now talk about exactly what is a IIF file. Here you will see an IIF file. It's opened in Excel, but it is not a true spreadsheet. We have also opened it up in Notepad above. You cannot open a real spreadsheet like an XLS file with Notepad because it will be all garbage to you. It will be just machine readable data in it. An IIF file, even though it can be opened with Excel, it's usually a tab delimited text file, and it has various definitions in it. We're not going to talk about this format. It came from QuickBooks Windows Desktop many years ago. Our program just follows what the file says to do. We have made some enhancement to the basics functions that was put in there years ago for QuickBooks Online, such as the department or location. There are 3 custom fields that are now supported in QuickBooks Online on a sales form, tracking number, and so forth. We can also post payments to invoices. Here you will see that this invoice has a doc number, which is the reference number, invoice number of 1234, and this payment will be paying that invoice, and you will see that in our demonstration. What happens if you don't have a file that looks like this? It's not really an IIF file, but it's an XLS file. Well, we have another program called the IIFImporter that can import that. There's no need to transfer the data or convert the data to a IIF format. So let's now show you exactly what's needed to be done. It is a Windows install program, so you will have to start it like any other Windows program. Here we have the icon. You can just double click on it, and it comes up, and it's going to be connecting to our QuickBooks Online company. Here's the company name, and it comes up in our normal 1, 2, 3 mode screen. Basically, this is a saying that there's only 2 to 3 steps needed, right? You select the file, you click on import here or here, and then you can lastly view the transactions within our program, or you can go into QuickBooks Online itself. So let's just now do that, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to select the file, and this is the file we're going to test right now. It's the same one that we have opened. I'm going to click on import, confirm, and you'll see on the bottom that there's a progress bar and a status line, and it's doing something. Complete is the file name that we just imported, transactions 2. Click here and see we added an invoice and a payment. Now we go into QuickBooks Online, and I will refresh this screen. And now you'll see that QuickBooks has in it for that customer 2 transactions, a payment that's now closed and an invoice that's paid. We can select it here, or we could use the recent transactions. Here's our invoice, and you can see we have all of the data that was in our file, billing address, shipping address, terms, due dates, ship via, shipping date, tracking number, custom fields, and so forth. Here's our items. We can also look at the payment. Here's the payment posted to invoice 1234, as we said. So that's all it takes to import an IIF file. It's very, very simple. But you might say you really need more. This is what we call the 1, 2, 3 mode screen. It's very simple, but if you need more, we do have a lot more in our Gold Edition. We have plenty of different variables. You might say that you really don't want to create invoices, but you want to create sales receipts. So how would you do that? We can go to our settings screen, and here we're going to say invoice. I want to make that a cash sale, which is the IIF terminology for sales receipt. We can also override things, bank item types, items, and so forth. We can also tell it, I don't want to do the payments, I just want to do the invoices or sales receipts. And you can check the appropriate checkboxes here to do that. Also, we can select which of the list items like customers, vendors, and so forth that we want to import. There is a lot of flexibility in this program. So that concludes the demonstration on this program, the IIF Importer for QuickBooks Online. If you do happen to have another type of file like a spreadsheet, a transimporter. If you have a database you want to import, maybe it's your website, we also have a program called our e-integrator, which can work with those in QuickBooks Online. They all work in a very similar fashion. Well, that really concludes this demonstration. I hope that you will look at our website, try our products, and let us know if there's anything that you need. Again, thank you very much for watching this video.